Hello, everyone. How is it? This is the first day of the rest of my life. In a manner of speaking, YouTube speaking, right? Maybe not physical, but we'll get into that. Was going. There's been a lot of growth in my energy, and in my personality, and in the way that I do my business, conduct my life, and maybe you're feeling that as well with whatever it is you've got going on. It's what is it? It's February 2026 as I record this. Maybe whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but because mostly I'm talking about myself. But my joke is aside, you might find some nuggets of truth in this that'll help you out. And maybe you'll be going through the same things too. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. Welcome to the channel. I've been on YouTube like 5 years, but brand new channel because I nuked the old one. And God bless YouTube, but anyway, it worked out that it completely wiped it out, which is great. Lesson learned, but that's fine. Right. Wanted to talk to you about love. Love is my chaos. Love is my chaos. Chaos is my love. And what I've done is that's my brand. That's in a nutshell. In as few words as possible, I've made my life work, my mission, my purpose, what deeply satisfies me the most, and said it in as few words as possible. Maybe I'll change it later on, maybe I won't. I don't know. But it feels good right now, and I wanted to dive into that in this first video. Let me just catch my thoughts here for a moment. Love is my chaos. Why did I choose that as my brand? Why did I choose that as not a slogan? At least I don't think so. I have a business degree, but never used it. My brand, if you want, my purpose. Let's go with love for the moment. I've been lonely most of my life. I didn't fit in. I couldn't talk to girls, I could talk to girls. But I had no effing clue how to seal the deal or to progress. And I'm shortchanging myself a little bit there because I've had girlfriends. But compared to, love that word, compared to some of my friends, I was not a Romeo. I'll put it that way. And then the connecting with people was difficult. They wouldn't necessarily understand my jokes, or they wouldn't appreciate it, or I would say something that I was intending to be helpful and it wasn't received well. Any number of examples like that, and you might be able to relate to those as well. And then one day, I met a little earth angel, and I can hardly put it into words actually, but the cliches of the earth, there was an earth shaking and, fireworks and heart expansion, and my life changed. Wrote poetry for the first time ever, was able to start writing longer stories, was interested in writing down in journals, and I was quite the wordsmith back then, and they would just come in. I almost didn't have to think about them. In fact, it was better if I didn't think about them. I just let it flow on the page and just let it come on out, and it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful time, and one thing and another, we broke up. My fault, but that's another video, by the way. But the love that I was exposed to, that I was immersed in, that I was and will forever be grateful for in receiving, was a deep connection. And it was like I knew what she wanted, she knew what I wanted, And we just, people, the friends, the people who saw us, they knew that there was something special going on. They could feel in some way the chemistry, they could feel the magnetism, they could feel the sparks. And if you've ever been around a couple like that, a power couple like that, hopefully your parents, but maybe not, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Or even every once in a while, you'll be walking down the street and there's just someone who's maybe not the best looking person or the sharpest dressed person or whatever, but they have that magnetism. And there was something about the magnetism between us that set my world on fire. And I brought that into my work. I have 4 books right at the moment. 5th one is coming soon, and I've got, any number of projects in my mind right at the moment, and half baked, half cooked, whatever you want to say, on my laptop over there. And there's a gentle playfulness in all of it. And there's humans are powerful. Everyone deserves love. The cup is half full. As Billy Carson says, the cup is overflowing because there's not only the water in the cup, there's also atmospheric gases all over the place. I love that. Is okay. That's cool. That's cool. I've shifted on to the word is. Love is my chaos. And I wasn't going to do this, but this is really cool, actually. So let's see where we get to. Of course, it's the root word is to be. And I'm just reminded of how calm and how still and how I wasn't a ball of nerves. I wasn't anxious when I was around her. It was just a beautiful, hey, I feel like going for dinner. Do you want to come? Yeah, okay. And off we'd go to do dinner or an activity or whatever it was. But there was no muss, there was no fuss, there was no me stressing out about anything. And she didn't stress out about anything except making sure that she got ready for the date. The calmness, yeah. And even now in this video, if you've seen any of my other videos that are now deleted, they're now history. Okay. Anyway, my point is, I'm a lot calmer than I was. And oh yeah, okay, this is gonna be a longer video, but the very, 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 very first YouTube video I ever did, it's the same basic setup as I have now, more or less. Oh man, I was just a nervous wreck. I was like, but I did it. It was like 2 minutes of poetry, my own personal poetry, that's one of the things I do, or did, to be, not to be, whatever. But I'm not limited by that. And that's probably another aspect of my brand is it's to do with, I'm not limited to anything. And even flipping it around, chaos is my love, works just as well as love is my chaos, which I love. I absolutely love that. All right, we'll keep going. And it's mine. Yes, okay. I love the way this is going. This is a great direction. I'm speaking about myself. I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone else. I'm not worried about keeping up with Joe or Jane or, whoever the guru is at the moment with 1 million subscribers and, blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to be my most authentic, natural self that I can be. And that is someone who believes in people, who believes we all deserve love, who will talk to just about anyone. And what I do, my little trick, and this might be worth another video too, but I try and find out at least one cool thing about them, one little factoid before we part. I learned that in speed dating, which I highly recommend if you haven't done it, if you're single. It's a cool way, it's a cool little training ground. and it's about my experiences. Yes, the elephant in the room is, yes, I'm privileged to have this color skin in our Western civilization. I don't take that for granted. I also had a relatively happy childhood. There wasn't a lot of money, so I had to make do, right? I never went hungry or there was always a roof over my head, so I'm blessed in that way as well. And the siblings, the parents are gone now, the siblings, we get along. We generally get along and we generally interact quite well, unlike, I'm told, some of the people out there in the world where families are disintegrated for various reasons. Which brings me to the chaos part. And it has to do with when you're at the ocean. This is one of the ways I got it. When you're at the ocean, when you're at the seashore, the waves crash, whether onto the rocks or onto the sand or just onto each other, whatever distance out from the shore. And I was reminded, listening to someone or talking to someone, that action, the waves coming in, brings nutrients to the shore, to the, what do they call it, foreshore? I think it's called anyway, where the water meets the land. And if you go out, you might see little aquatic life, and the big fish, the little little bits of plants or whatever that they eat. And it's the turmoil. And of course there's the salt spray, right? The salt spray and the sound. And if you wade, walk out a little bit, the sand shifts on you a little bit, and there's a lot of action going on there. And an amount of chaos, I'm not sure we would want 100%, I want to call it entropy, but I'd have to look up what that word means again. I'm not sure we want 100% chaos. But we need some portion of chaos, just like we need some portion of love, and we need some portion of food, and we need some portion of play, and we need some portion of sleep, for example, in our daily life. So I'm okay with chaos, an amount of chaos, because man, I've learned, and maybe you have too, but I didn't learn too much in the quiet moments. I learned more in the, oh my God, what is going on here? What, am I gonna die? Those kind of moments, or, of embarrassment or what have you. Love is my chaos, and I'm okay with that. And I've written and infused that into my work as much as I can. For example, I probably wouldn't have worn this when I was doing my other channel. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, I'm not sure, but I would have dressed up more professionally because I was trying to be the professional, whereas Morgan's more casual than that. Morgan is more relaxed. Morgan is more sporty than polished. And as you can tell by my hand movements and the lighting. Oh well, it works, right? And I think that's part of what I'm coming at now in 2026 is it works. And love is my chaos. And I welcome you to the channel. And more to come. Okay, stick around.